I feel like Britney Spears. You know how she's releasing all these weird videos of her on Instagram where she's like juggling knives and stuff and dancing around with knives. This is me eating spring rolls. Someone's there. There's Ancient Gear. Hey, man. Sorry, I'm eating spring roll. Or eating spring rolls. And just put that aside. Turn this light on here. There we go. Welcome, welcome. Been a while, Ancient Gear, man. Been a long while. I have been muy ocupado, as they would say in Spanish. Just busy, busy, man. Like, got this new job and stuff, and it's zapped really all of my extra energy. Like, it just, I don't have energy to do anything after work and stuff. And it's like I come home from work, and then I like cook. I love cooking, so I usually cook something for my wife, and then by the time that's done, then it's like we just enough time to do our progesterone shots that we're doing for IVF or whatever, and then I try to go to bed at like 9:30. I'm such an old man nowadays, and then it's wake up and repeat. And then by the time the weekend happens, it's like I'm trying to just maximize my time with my wife, and I'm working on this horror movie and all this stuff. And so like the podcast has really taken a major backseat. But not only the podcast, really my spiritual. Let me make this light better. My spiritual journey has taken a backseat. Honestly, I've noticed that um, whenever you're not in survival mode, it's very easy to be lovey-dovey about people and stuff like that, and like have a rosy outlook on life of like, oh, people are basically good, and everybody deserves peace, love, and redemption, and kindness, and forgiveness, and everything. And what I've noticed is getting back into the corporate world. I mean, even though we're just sitting at desks and clickety clacking on computers, people's lives are at stake, and so it might as well be the dang tropical, or like the Sahara, or not Sahara, the savannah of Africa. At the watering hole, and crocodiles leaping out of the water gonna get you. I mean, it's the modern day version of survival, and people get nasty, and there's some nasty people that I work with, and I don't know, getting back into it, your brain shifts out of this pie in the sky kind of cerebral, philosophical, kumbaya thing, and it chips away at you. And so I've noticed that I am less prone to forgiveness and stuff easily nowadays. I really have to like jolt myself back into like, oh wait, Andrew, remember you went through the spiritual metamorphosis, and we need to be all loving and forgiving. But it's weird, man. So that's what I've been up to, is just getting back into work mode. And I was about to say hating it, but it's not fun. It's oh, what's up, Serge? My boy Serge in the hat in the hizzy. So I was just telling Ancient Gear here, um, just what it's like being back in the workforce and stuff like that, and how I've noticed that I am less inclined. I was mentioning how it's like it's very easy to be all lovey-dovey and kumbaya, and everyone is worthy of redemption and forgiveness whenever you're not in survival mode, right? When you're not competing with people and stuff like that. And so now that I'm competing with people again, that spectrum has shifted, I feel, in me, and I have to constantly, not constantly, but I have to like remind myself that you know of my metamorphosis. But it's sad. I I miss the old me, the pre corporate, going back into the corporate world me. But I feel like I'm still carrying the flag, I guess, in my new job. I'm at least showing people that they don't need to be a holes to each other, and it's working so far. Anyways, let's see what everyone's up to here. So, what the hell? I don't know what the hell last month I've been told to fast until God knows. Oh man! Whoa! Ancient gear! Whoa! Let's back up for a second. So fasting is great, man. I did 10 days of fasting, and it was hard, but it was awesome. Um, Water only, man. I don't know who's telling you to not drink water either, but you may want to question someone who's asking you to do that, because you will literally die in 3 days if you don't drink water for 3 days. That's like the most unhealthy thing you can possibly do, man. So from what I've heard nothing ever about fasting. Like, you need to fast water. Also, no. Drink water, dude. Like drink it now. Like, get up, get your ass up right now and go drink some water. I implore you. I beg you. You are too awesome of a person to just drink water, dude. Okay. Um, it's making me go through so many impossible missions the last month, and so ancient gear. Whew, don't take this the wrong way, man. What I'm about to say, don't take it the wrong way. I need I need help, right? Everybody needs help. I am waiting until I get officially hired at my job to where I can get medical insurance. Like, here in the US, we have to. I don't know what it's like in Greece, honestly, but you got to freaking have medical insurance to do anything medically here in the US, right? And so I'm trying to get medical insurance so I can go to therapy. Like, I need it big time. I mean, I was all up on Chat GPT the other day, like asking, like, hey, are there any therapists in the greater Houston area that deal with like massive existential crises, like the most extreme of existential crisis that you can possibly imagine? Is there anyone like that? And I got some recommendations, but I don't have medical insurance, so I can't go to them yet. um I'm telling you, man, you go if you have the means and ability to go to get some. We cannot go at this alone, dude. Cannot. It's impossible. And if you try to go at it alone, it'll drive you freaking crazy. Trust me, dude. I Over the past 5 years, there have been several times where I was like, dude, I'm going absolutely freaking bonkers crazy. um a couple times, borderline suicidal kind of stuff. And so, man, I got to say, man, like seriously, and I don't mean to rag on you. If there's something or someone or some kind of experience or synchronicity that you have that's telling you not to drink water, man, I got to tell you, drink water. like drink drink it drink it now. Like, get up and drink water now. Um, but anyways, get it. Try not to be. Try not to white knuckle it too much. Uh, you'll drive yourself crazy. Take a break and know that everyone is every single person, man. We all There's a reason why every living being and every person reacts to love. And my boy Sergio, who's on right now, taught me something incredibly beautiful, which is innocence is king. I don't care how much of a crazy tyrant the ancient Roman emperors used to be. There's a part of them that's still innocent, that still wants the love of a mother, the love of etc. But all that love ultimately funnels to God, right? So any kind of love you can imagine, that the source of it is God. And no matter how bad you think you are, no matter how bad you think someone else is, everybody go watch those videos of animals being rescued off the streets with, like, dogs with severe mange, and they're limping and they're snarling and growling and trying to bite people that are trying to help them. And then you fast forward a little bit, and the dog is finally like allowing itself to be petted, and next thing you know, it's just like just gaga over its rescuers. And every living being reacts to love almost in the same way, because innocence is king, and we all want that, no matter who you are. So what I'm going to try to tell you here, man, is go easy on yourself, because you deserve to be gone easy on. We all deserve a gentle hand and a soft landing. And I think that if you white knuckle it too much, you will go at it alone. Don't go at it alone. Um, that being said, I would be thrilled to talk to you again. We had a Zoom call about a year ago, if memory serves, and I would be thrilled to talk to you and hear you out, man. So let's schedule something soon, because I want to catch up with you. Um, yeah, I want to catch up with you. Um, yeah, um, Serge, my boy, are you still on, homie? If you are, say drop a little hello. Um, but honestly, Ancient Gear, I pray for you, man. I pray for you a lot, and we're gonna. There's Sergio. Hey, man, you're gonna get through it, dude. You're gonna get through it. But I'm telling you, it's gonna take the help of others. There's no way I could have done all this alone, man. I've had so many people to lean on. So many people have helped me, and I'm telling you, even the people that have helped me, I I want a therapist so bad I could scream. Like I cannot wait to unload all of this existential craziness onto a therapist. I want someone to tell me that I'm crazy. I want someone to be like, Andrew, like, what the heck are you doing? Why did you do this? Why did you take ayahuasca 7 times? Stop. Like, you got all the answers. Well, I'm not going to say that. I almost said you got all the answers already. What I meant to say is you have enough answers to you have I feel like that I have enough, like what's that old Ram Dass saying, where it's like, hey, when you pick up the phone and you hear the voice on the other end, like, go ahead and hang up the phone. Like, I stayed on the phone for too long, man, and now it's gotten to the point where there's mixed messages and you don't know which way is up or down. um Man, and I felt like I was going to save the world, and I still feel like that. I mean, it's like I don't think about how many people have done psychedelics and stuff who feel like they're going to save the world. It's probably every single one of them, right? And so, that being said, I still feel like that. And so I want someone to tell me, like, Andrew, like, stop. You again, I'm not going to say that I'm enlightened. I'm just less darkened, right? And so, but yeah, don't go at this alone, man. You need people to bounce stuff off of, and again, I hate to say it, man. You need someone to tell you, like, drink water, dude, drink water. I love you, Ancient Gear. You are a badass, sir. You're freaking smart, and maybe a priest instead of a therapist. Yeah, well, man, I talked to a basically a nun. I gotta tell you though, Ancient Gear, Christians have really, really ruined a lot of what I'm going through. They've ruined it quite substantially, to the point where I'm talking to someone and I tell them about the Christ that I know in my heart, and they're telling me straight up to my face, well, then you don't believe in Christ. I'm like, well, hey, here's what the dude, and I preface it by telling them like, hey, it's my experience and it's anecdotal, mind you, but the guy whom I have a personal relationship with because I've had freaking multiple conversations face to face with has told me blah 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 XYZ. This is what he's told me, and these people say, well, then you don't. That's not the Jesus that you're supposed to believe in. You're supposed to believe in the biblical Jesus, and therefore you don't believe in Jesus. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm starting my own freaking new. Ugh, I, ugh. I didn't want those words to come out of my mouth because the last thing I want to do is be like some kind of freaking religious leader or something, like a damn cult freaking person or something like ugh, ugh. But when a Christian is looking me in the face and saying to me that I don't believe in Jesus, I don't know the real him, and the real him are all these things that are written down in this book here that that you know that person hasn't experienced themselves, but they were told to, and they were told to read this, and that is Jesus, not the Jesus that's in here and here. So when someone tells me I don't know him, I have to believe them to some degree and say, like, if that's what you're calling Jesus, that person in that book, then sure, cool. I don't believe. And you know, the thing is I know that when Jesus says that he is life itself and that he is we and I am him and he is you, and that's why loving your enemy and loving your neighbor are critically important, because you are your own enemy, because we're all connected by this intangible, undefinable essence of life, and that's what he said he is. He is life itself. And so when you start thinking about it in terms like this and start zooming out and seeing the interconnectedness, then you start questioning Jesus himself. If he is life itself, who was this thing, this person, this lump of consciousness that we're calling a singular entity called Jesus? I really now have to question, you know, I don't know. It's I'm at odds with Christians, and so I know the Jesus that's in my heart, and that's never going to change. And I even have, man, I just bought all 4 volumes of the Philokalia, for crying out loud. I mean, that's about as Christian as you get in terms of like Eastern Orthodox, right? But there's a lot of stuff in here, man, like this in particular talks about the Jesus that's in your heart, you know. And so, but regardless, there's all these different factions of people that they want, whenever I tell them how I found God and Jesus, they want to basically run me out on a rail and tar and feather and burn me at the stake. And so now I'm not going to talk to a priest, man. I hate to say it. If a priest came to me and was open-minded and had an ear to listen and could see past things that are written, here's the thing that really bugs me about these biblical purists. So I already know what I'm about to say isn't necessarily true per se. The book of Revelation, Jesus coming back, the second coming of Jesus, there is no second coming. Like he's already here. Like he sure, ascension to heaven or whatever, and then but the Holy Spirit and all this stuff, it's him. When he says he's life itself, he's in us. He's already here. There's no second coming. He's already here, right? And so and I lost my train of thought. I was gonna go. I totally blanked. I had a very good point there, but no, there's no convincing someone that is indoctrinated. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So book of Revelation says Jesus is gonna there's gonna be a second coming and 1,000-year reign or whatever that stuff is. I don't know the full story. I don't really want to know the full story because I know that it's a giant metaphor, etc. But whatever, if that does happen, whatever Jesus comes down and says is going to be a concatenation onto the Bible. And so someone who's a biblical purist is now between a rock and a hard place, because anything that comes out of Jesus's mouth isn't going to be what's already in the Bible. It's going to be in addition to, right? And so now we have to look at Jesus's own words as being non-biblical. And it's like, what? Right? They've backed themselves into a corner. The thing that really bugs me about these biblical purists is that whenever you question them about truth, they just pull out the Bible as the truth, and it's like the Bible is a self-referencing a circular argument of it insists upon itself, and when someone insists upon that which insists upon itself, it's like, if you don't already believe in the Bible, then there is no start there. It's a non-starter to a conversation. If there's a non-believer, and our whole point of Christianity is to convert believers, you can't throw the Bible and say this is the truth if they don't believe in it, you know. And so it's like, give me something personal. Don't give me something biblical. Give me something personal. Give me a direct, relatable connection to God that I can experience myself. And y'all, I'm telling you, I tried to argue this point in a room full of Christians, my Aggie buddies. I'm wearing my Aggie shirt right now, and y'all, the work. If I were to try to take on this crusade of trying to show people the Jesus that exists in people's hearts, the work that I would have ahead of me is so insurmountable. It is unfathomably insurmountable, and could potentially risk the lives of me and my future family. That's how serious this is. Like, these dudes were foaming at the mouth, basically. A couple of them. So there was a couple of my buddies that were still on my side, but oh my gosh, y'all. So ancient gear, in so many words, I shan't be approaching a priest unless this priest is the most chilled out, open-minded person of all time. I don't know who to, I don't know who, maybe that's what I should devote my life to, is like, maybe I become an existential crisis therapist, specifically focusing on people who have had incredible mystical psychedelic experiences. But guess what? I'm going to bring my own opinion to that. Or maybe I won't. I don't know. But, I'm a Christ guy. It's like, that's my boy right now. I'm riding the Christ wave big time for sure. I still, at the same point, understand that there's a source to him, right? And that's the whole point of the Father, right? It's like, the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, like all this stuff. It's not addition, it's multiplication, right? It's not 1 + 1 = 3. It's 1 times 1 times 1 = 1. And we're all part of that too. And that's why he says that we are he, and he is we, and he is, I am you, and you are me, and I am my own enemy and my own neighbor. And that's why we're supposed to love our neighbor. Anyways, blah, 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 blah. I say this all the time. There's no way, there's no way, unless a literal miracle. But here's the thing: literal miracles didn't even convince people. And y'all, I guarantee you, the people listening to me right now, literal miracles have happened to you. Guarantee you. And I can speak from my own experience on this, that when literal miracles have happened to me, they only have unless you constantly obsess about the beauty of that miracle, they have a very short shelf life, and for a reason. And that's because at the end of the day, you gotta stop, like, being in awe of something so you can go get a drink of water. Which, Ancient Gear, you better send me a freaking picture of you drinking water, man. Go drink some water. But you have to disengage and survive, and that's why we are so prone to just forget about these miraculous things that happen every single day, including the most miraculous thing of all time, y'all, and that is life itself. Just sit back and think about how improbable you being alive and listening to me is right now. Think about all of the things, factors, and elements conspiring to have to make it pop. Life is so freaking intricately precise and delicate, yet strong and amazing at the same time. It's a machine. A rationalist and a science worshiper would come in here and say it's a machine. You're damn right it's a machine. But guess what? There's something always behind a machine making it work. Um, and so yeah, there was my rant. There's a lot to catch up here on now. I can't even talk. There's a lot to catch up here on now. The hell am I talking about? Instead of a third, but clear psychic comes with cult leaders. Yeah, yeah. The Christ I know tells me that I'm in a lot of debt to the devil because of sin, and that he doesn't have the right to help me, and that I will get cancer resulting in me going to hell. Ancient Gear, man. I I I don't know. I don't know what to say, man, about that. That is in such stark contrast from the Christ that I know. And I'm not saying that the Christ I know is any, you know, more impactful or superior than the Christ that you know. I mean, I can't say that. All of this is subjective and anecdotal. I think that there's an overlapping, shared kind of part of some of these anecdotal things that I've been preaching about for 5 years. But I don't I cannot I have no starting point on that. It's so vastly different than the Christ I know. The Christ I know would never, man, I'm telling you right now, Ancient Gear, there is some dark things that have happened to me in my life, and there are some dark things. Let's just say that that there's a reason that I um, went down this. This is the reason why I signed up to die. That's what um, ayahuasca was for me. It's like, hey, I already want to die, and so here's this thing that says that that I'll have a death experience, and I might get something out of it to save my soul. But I didn't believe in a soul back then, of course. But I was like, I need something. Anything is better than what I have right now. Anything, and so I was like, I was like, here's this thing that says you're going to die and something magical will happen that gives purpose to your life. And I was like, let's jump in and do it. Um, but I'm telling you, the point of what I'm trying to say is there's a reason I did that, and the reason is there is some substantial darkness that needed to be corrected. And I was, even though again I did have a handful of hellish experiences, which are so nightmarish I can barely begin to explain. In fact, I was going to do a like an hour long episode about detailing every single thing that I remember about my hell experiences, and I had like 75% of that episode ready, probably like 80% of that episode ready to go, and I was about to finalize and post it, and then I had a thought. I had a very important thought of, if I were to release this episode and that influenced somebody's trip, y'all, people could die in horrible ways. And I was like, ooh, there's probably really, really, really good reasons why people don't post or talk about, um, the hellish trips, right? Because it might influence someone's trip. But again, I promise I'm getting to a point here. The point is that I expected that I would be met like I thought something magical would happen ish, magical ish. Like I don't know. Again, I didn't believe in God. I thought that some symbolic kind of stuff would happen that would wake me up, right, to some degree. And people, I read so many accounts of people talking about God, and I was like, okay, well, if God shows up, then I mean, I know God's not real, so I can just take this symbology or symbolism of what he's saying and just say, okay, well, I understand that your point. I know you're not real, but blah blah blah. Um, but so I knew I thought something magical would happen, but I didn't think it was going to be real. I thought it was just going to be symbolic, and I'll just learn some lessons and then just apply those lessons metaphorically. Um, but regardless, and this is me finally arriving at my point. With all the darkness in my life, I thought the very first thing that would happen when I would, if I came across some kind of angel or God or whatever kind of thing, is that I would be smoked. Smitten is far different. Smitten is like, oh, I'm so in love. I thought that I was going to be freaking smote on the spot and turned into a freaking pillar of salt and sent into hell from whence I came. What I got was the complete opposite of that. Absolute complete opposite of that. And I did not deserve it. I did not think that I did not feel that I would I didn't feel like I deserved it. The most romantic gesture you could possibly imagine. So specifically fine-tuned for me in such a simple, beautiful gesture that made me question everything. And when I questioned everything, and I thought, maybe this is God. There's no other logical. I had done the infinite circular loop of paradoxical thought in my head of what could have been the origin of this. And when I thought to myself, is this actually God? Like this is a real thing that's happening. Like my first God experience was a synchronicity, a real thing happening that I witnessed. Granted, I provided the meaning, but it was real. It wasn't a freaking hallucination. I got a picture of it on my phone right now. It's my screensaver. It's that damn light on the porch, man, right there. That light, that's God. Such a simple, beautiful the most beautiful, single most awesome thing that rescued me from a life, whatever was left of it, of utter wreck and ruin. Um, I'm telling you right now, dude, Ancient Gear, the God that I had the balls to step up to the plate and look face in the face, look face to face with, look him in the eye, whatever you want to call it. That's not the God that I know, bro. The one that you're talking about doesn't even come close. Are there nasty critters out there? I call them critters, these entities or whatever. Are there nasty critters that want us all dead in the worst possible way imaginable? Absolutely there are. Abso-freaking-lutely. But they have nothing on us, man. Nothing unless you let them have something on you. Um, I'm telling you, I don't know if you're talking. I don't know how to write what you're. I don't know how to do. I don't know how to fix that situation for you, man. But I'm telling you, man, I thought that I was going to be. And again, I've had some hell experiences, but they were for good reasons, and I learned from them tremendously. And God always rescued me in an absolutely beautiful way. Um, and then Jesus shows up, and the rest is history, man. It's like Jesus stepping in as the last part of that puzzle, the bridge between the cosmos. I mean, every time I would go in, my freaking brain would be exploded into the freaking cosmos, and I'd see this. Frankly, I would see stuff that humans were not meant to see. Um, in this experience, it's seeing that kind of stuff can freaking kill you. I know because I felt like I was going to die every time I saw behind the curtain of the cosmic. Man, you don't. Let me just say, you in your flesh form, you do not want to see what's on the other side of this cross. That's all I'm telling you, dude. It is like I'm talking. It is terrifying, not in a hellish way, terrifying in an absolute cosmic. I cannot express. Go listen to Trip 10, The Infinite again. That's what's on the other side of this cross, dude. We're on this side. On this side of the cross, it's like, thank God for this guy, man. Thank God for this guy. I mean, it's like now I can cling to this fella and be like, please, please, just I'm cool over here for now. We're gonna be over there eventually, by the way. Um, but um, but don't be afraid. Don't be afraid by what I just said. On the other side of this cross, y'all, is infinite love. It's just that infinite love cannot be absorbed in flesh form, lest you die. Um, and don't let anyone get any bright ideas about that. Don't go, oh well, then I want to be folded into the infinite love. Let me just go kill myself. No, 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 no. We're all here for a lesson. Lessons plural. Um, and there's a lesson in everything. There's a lesson. There's a lesson. So okay, cosmic in a Lovecraftian way, ancient gear. You ask. Some of it is. Um, so that there again, I feel that there are some things out there that are not fun, dude. Not fun at all. But when you find the right frequency, Sergio, my boy, taught me how to ohm. That's something that Christians would balk at. It's a very powerful and useful tool. Um, I found ways to navigate the craziness and find the right frequencies. And when you find the right frequencies, you find the right critters. And that's all the God stuff, man. And that's where you find Jesus, and that's where you find God Himself. And that cosmic intensity is not Lovecraftian. It's so much love that it's indescribable. It's like being 2 inches from the sun. There's so much love. Um, the only possible human reaction to that amount of love is just crying your eyeballs out. Like there's nothing else you can do. Is you just collapse into a puddle of mush and cry your eyeballs out. And man, it's intense, and you feel like you're gonna die there too. But it's a beautiful death, incredibly beautiful death. Um, anyways, I love you, Ancient Gear, man. I love you to death, man. And I wish I could help you better. Um, and I don't think, man, I will put. I'm making better money now. I'll say now that I got a job, I will put all my savings that I have on that you do not have cancer, man. Call me on that. If it's proven that you do, I will freaking give you. Well, my wife would kill me. I'll give you a chunk of something. But dude, something's screwing with you, man. And but don't let that freak you out, man. Don't let it freak you out. Um, you're awesome, man, and I will step up to the plate for you any day. Sergio, let me see what you've been saying. Uh, yeah, we're all caught up here. Everyone's oh, here we go. Hold on. Infinite bananas, absolutely infinite bananas. Build with people who are like-minded instead of trying to prove others wrong. Yeah, yeah. Oh well, man, I've learned that there's nothing you can say to folks that are already have their mind made up. There's nothing, and it's sad because I had my mind made up, and then my mind was absolutely shattered in a million pieces, and picked. But it's funny now that I say that. Here I am with my mind made up again, And who's to say that I'm right now? I feel like I am, but it could be that something swoops in, and I don't see it happening. But again, I didn't see this stuff happening before. My mind got shattered into a million pieces. Something could come in and provide an even crazier experience. But here's the thing: this existence is so obviously illusory that it's almost like all bets are off at this point. Um, if something came along and completely shattered my worldview again, I'd probably be like, "Oh, okay, all right, well, what do I got?" And what all I got is me. And um, there's something very important about that, because whether it was God or Jesus or what, and what I'm about to say may sound very blasphemous, but was it God's message or Jesus's message that was the important thing, or was it that that message is something that I understood and resonated with me, right? They could have said something and I just, don't understand it or don't care to understand it or whatever. The fact that I understood it and it resonated with me, I think speaks volumes about me. And if and I hate to talk like this, because I'm not one of these me people. I hate to sound egotistical and stuff like that, but I'm gonna have to, because man, there's coming from a long history of self hatred to the point where I didn't want to have a child because I didn't want something that resembled me, even in the slightest, to draw breath. That's a terrible thought. And now, um, you know, uh, I'm gonna show y'all a video. Can't believe I'm doing this. Because Sergio, you've given me courage. No, man, I can't. I can't. I was almost going to show everyone something, but I can't. Let's just say that my mind has changed about this whole I hate myself so much that I don't want a being to take existence that is anything like me. Let's just say that my mind has changed, and let's just say that things are looking good. Um, but again, going back to my point, even if someone and by the way, you can do this. What I'm about to say not only is plausible, but I believe it to be the truth. Someone can come up to me and categorically across the board disprove God, disprove Jesus. Logically, y'all, in terms of rationalism and, materialism and all this stuff, there it doesn't hold up. God and Jesus and all this stuff does not hold up, and that's because of the riddle of existence itself. Um, the whole reason that we're here is the purpose of it all is to, God cherishes and relishes the beauty of catharsis and discovery over just straight up knowledge and stuff, right? And so we all are here to learn a lesson, and if he was so readily apparent, then what's the point? So the whole system is geared to where you're not going to get proof of God. And that's it makes my whole journey so fruitless and pointless, is that I will never get that proof. And I know it, but I still try to argue logically anyway. And I get my ass handed to me all the time. And it's like, it's so frustrating because I know in my heart what's true, and there's no way I can prove it. Just like you cannot prove to someone that you love someone, except for the I actually wrote something down about this. There is a way that you can prove to someone that you, but before we get there, let me just challenge y'all to think about this for a second. How can you actually prove to someone that you love them? It's impossible. A rationalist, you know, materialist kind of person can come along and logically say, like, anything that you do to try to display your love someone could be just game theory of you putting on a show so that you derive the survival benefits of a mutual exchange of, you know, blah 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 blah. And so you're playing the game so that you can derive the benefit from the. You can go down just about every single thing, every single display of love imaginable, and that can be faked convincingly to where you're like, okay, what is love? You know? Sorry, I had to do that. Um, except for one thing. There is one thing that you can do that proves that you love someone. One thing. Sacrifice. The ultimate form of it. Literally dying for someone, which breaks the whole freaking game of survival, because survival is all about staying alive, is it not? And so if you break the system, you throw a wrench in the gears if someone's like, "Hey, I don't think this person loves me," because the whole one-upsmanship kind of game theory thing of survival means that in order for this person to get a better advantage, he had better fake this affection so that he can get the favor, right? So that he can have a leg up in survival. But again, the whole thing is about survival. But when you throw, "I am going to die for you because I love you so much," into the game, complete, not only that, not only that, "I'm going to die for you. I'm going to die for the worst things in you. I'm not going to die for the best things." Well, I kind of am. The thing is like, this dude knows that the worst things in you are not the real you. And so he actually is dying for the best in you, because your untainted soul is you. The rest of it is this nasty, rotten wrapper, the rotten exterior of the onion. I love you so much that I'm going to die for the worst things in you because I know the real you. I wrote something about this. I promise I'm not going to make it too long. Hopefully, I can find it quickly. One second. Must be stuck in the current flow. Oh gosh. Please, come on. Can I find it? I'm not going to sit here and try to find. Man, I wrote something beautiful about this the other day. Something absolutely just like, I woke up in the morning and something. It's one of those things where it's like, if I don't write this down right now, I'm gonna forget it. And I ran into the restroom and wrote it down on my phone somewhere, and now I can't find it. Anyways, it had something. It basically had to do with that. It's uh. Anyways, maybe I can find it. Maybe, come on, man. Come on, bro. Gotta find it. Oh man, I hope I didn't lose it. Sorry about that little soliloquy there of trying to find this crap. But and I've lost the main crux of my. Oh, this is what it was. This is what it was. And sorry it's taken me so long to get back to this. I always go on the little fishtail. The weave is what a certain person who's running the country calls it. He calls it the weave. Ooh, the weave. Um, anyway, the point I was trying to get to is that even how much this guy has changed my life, even how much God has changed my life, even if someone were to come along and convince me, oh, that's what it was. That's what it was. God and Jesus always fall apart in the face of logic, always, and they always will, because the whole point of this is to preserve the riddle of faith and the beauty of faith and the catharsis of faith and all this stuff. And proof is not faith, right? And so they always fall apart. But the thing is like, even if someone were to come and convincingly across the board convince me that there is no God, there is no Jesus, and then furthermore we're able to, because again I believe that God launders his signature and his presence through materialism to preserve the riddle and beauty of faith. But even if someone could convincingly convince me that he wasn't even behind the scenes laundering himself through all this stuff, right? If you could like even go into those cosmic reaches and prove that God isn't even real beyond existence, using it as a puppet, if you can convince me that that's not true, I would still be in marvel of myself. And I know that sounds very egotistical, but again, if I didn't understand that which was communicated to me, these beautiful, unbelievably cosmic stuff that I'm like, I can't believe, like this is so cosmically beautiful, but yet so simplistically beautiful also. Like, just, it's so simple and perfect, and it's been right under our noses this whole time, and it's so amazing and awesome. The fact that I can understand that and it resonates with me speaks volumes about that which is in us already. And I'm not going to go and say that we don't need God. God's a part of it. He's the biggest part of it. But understand that that is in you, and that's the whole point. If it didn't resonate with you, it means nothing. And right before I went to bed another night, I went out to we were at the beach got a little beach house thing for my wife's birthday. And I went out to pray at the beach at night. I went to pray and meditate. And I was like, I'm not going to leave the beach until I get something profound. And I'm talking, the second my butt hit the wood of the pier that I was walking down, I was like, I'm gonna walk till like hit the edge of the pier, then I'm gonna sit on the edge of the pier. I sat down and, well, sorry, that's not the point. We'll table that part. There was something else that was told me there. It was later when I was going to sleep. That was I had something. I was reading where's that book? I was reading the Gospel of Truth. Unbelievable stuff here, y'all. This book right here. That night, I sat down and I've had this book for like a month and haven't picked it up yet. And this is one of those non-canonical biblical texts that were found in the late 1800s or whatever, in that where they found the book of Thomas and stuff like that. They found this papyrus scroll or something like that with the Gospel of Truth written in it. And y'all, I'll be danged if it's not just about everything that I've landed on in terms of my view of how existence came into being, how God created existence, how it's a higher ordered spoken word, basically, and how the mechanics of that spoken word introduces a point of failure, and that point of failure, where you're cramming the perfect meaning in your mind into a symbol called a word, and there's a loss in translation point of failure in the mechanics of that flaw constitutes all flaws in existence. Those were the initial conditions that set forth the initial flaw that became all flaw, including evil. Most importantly, evil. The opposite, like the opposite end of that, like the distillment of existence, basically, because again, it had to come from the mind and take physical form, right, through a spoken word. I pick up this book and I am basically reading that almost word for word, and it freaked me the hell out. Like I was like, holy crap, this is exactly it's as if someone read this book and were somehow able to control my mystical experiences on my plant medicine adventures, and come down and hey, let's make all of his things be all of his experiences be this book, basically. I haven't read all of it yet, by the way. I only read probably half of it, but so far, holy crap. But anyway, there's a part in the book. Let me see if I can find it. It's amazing. Children, something about children. Okay, I'm not saying that it reveals whom everyone's giving them a form. There was something about, although they're really with. Oh, here it is. The Father gives birth to each one. Okay. See, the Father gives birth to each one. Then, when they receive the knowledge, although but the Father is complete, knowing every realm that's within him, if he wants to reveal. It's gonna be. It would take a second for me to find it. But anyways, it was it. There was something in here about. Okay, here it is. This is the knowledge of the living book, which he revealed to the generations at the end. Letters from him revealing how they're not vowels or consonants, yeah, so that one might read them and think they're meaningless. Instead, they are letters of the truth. They speak and know themselves. Each letter is a complete thought, like a book that's complete, since they are letters written by the unity. The Father wrote them so that by means of his letters, the generations might know him. To me, when I read that night, it may not have been. I'm terrible at reading out loud, but when I read that, I read kind of like this understanding of, it's not the book that matters. It's like, basically what I read is that there is a book in your heart. Someone can write something down and capture something in perpetuity or whatever, but it's the meaning and someone can tell you a story just as well, and that'll it's what resonates with you and sticks with you that matters. God, I'm just blowing this whole thing. This is not my best work, y'all. I apologize, but I wrote down. I had this deep thought that came to me, and it was, just a very concise sentence that was just popped into my head, and it says, "The real Bible is in your heart, because the heart is where the Bible is understood."